everyone, I hope you're well. In today's video, I wanted to share with you some of my tips for being able to eat healthy but on a budget, because we don't want to be out here destroying our bank account. Some of these tips are things that I picked up along the way, and other ones are ones that I picked up from my mum, the budgeting extraordinaire. Now granted, I don't have to shop for an entire family of people, but these tips are still applicable. And I've only lived in Australia, but from what I've experienced, traveling and all of that sort of thing, our prices for healthier food aren't completely unreasonable. I can't say that's the same everywhere in the world though. Some prices for fresh produce and fresh meats can be a little bit ridiculous. Now, I'm the one who normally organizes getting the groceries and meal prepping and everything for Mitch and myself. And we are a couple little protein piglets. So I try to budget my way around so that I can put more money into quality cuts of meat and quality protein sources. And then I try to save as much as possible everywhere else on the bill. The way that you eat will affect how much you are spending on your grocery bill as well. Vegetarian and plant-based diets are often those which can be the cheapest. And I feel like one of the most expensive ways is probably keto. Having done that, that was expensive. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and let's jump straight into it. First off, we're deleting those food delivery apps. Now, I'm not saying you have to get rid of them forever. What I am saying though is if you get rid of them, on those chances where you do decide you want to order something in, it takes a lot longer to go through the process. So you have to re-download it, you have to re-sign in, reset up your location. So you're going to be saving money from those delivery fees. And also, if you are opting to cook more of your own meals, you know what all the ingredients are. This relates more to the fridge and the pantry side of things. So something that I like to do is go through and clean out my fridge and my pantry periodically, like pull everything out, put it all back in. And weekly, I also like to just check what I have. This ensures that I'm not buying doubles of things. If you find that you overspend each week just because you get indecisive and you don't know what you want to have for dinner that night, or you don't know what you want for lunch the next day, try planning out your meals, because bulk meals can be made between $2 to $4 per serve. I like to do this when I am meal prepping. It does of course depend what ingredients you use as to what that final dollar amount will come down to, but try to pick ingredients that can be used in multiple meals. So that way, your dry goods and things like that can stretch further. Okay, I feel like this is a really, really obvious point, so I just wanted to keep this one short and sweet, and that is to make sure you eat a meal before you go and do your shopping. Because if you're full, you are likely to stick to your shopping list. If you don't have time to have a full, proper sit-down meal, then make sure you drink a bottle of water or something like that so you're feeling satiated before you go down those aisles. Look at the location where you shop. Maybe for you get distracted when you're going through all the aisles, so maybe shopping online might work for you. Or perhaps if you have markets, you can head down to markets and purchase some local produce for a bit cheaper. I often see things like pumpkin or sweet potato for less than $2 per kilo. So if you want to stock up and get a lot of those goods for a little bit cheaper, you can shop around, check out markets and things like that. Eating in season will not only give you nutritional variety so that your body gets different micronutrients from the foods that you're feeding it, but if you're eating in season, the fruit and veg that you pick up will generally be cheaper. Okay, so here I'm talking about things like nuts, dry goods, all of that sort of stuff. They can typically be purchased in bulk to save you a fair bit of cash. Items that are dry goods, so if we're talking about, oats, rice, all of that sort of stuff, these will last a long time. So if you are able to purchase them in a larger packet, like for example, if you were to buy a 5-kilo bag of rice rather than just a little 500-gram bag of rice, you will end up saving money. Instead of looking at eyeline level on the shelves, if you flick down to the very bottom, you can see the things that are no brand or home brand, and they're typically a lot cheaper. Like, as an example, that aluminium foil, the brand name one was $3 for 10 meters, but the no brand one was $1 for 10 meters. And those kinds of products are typically very similar. So same thing when it comes to your dry goods. If you're looking for products, go for the no brand names because you will save yourself some money. When I'm meal prepping, I really like to use frozen fruit and vegetables, particularly if the meal is going to be heated back up. This way, it's only being cooked once instead of twice. Now, frozen vegetables are typically snap frozen, which means they do retain their nutrients. Frozen veg can also work out cheaper, and you are less likely to let them go off in the fridge because they will last longer in your freezer. If you need any inspiration, just check out the plethora of videos that I have on my channel when it comes to meal prep. By meal prepping and sorting out what groceries you need before the week comes, you can save yourself money by making meals which are cheaper per serving. So you might want to meal prep entire meals, or maybe you just want to do snacks, or you can even just prep ingredients so when you get home, you've got the ingredients ready to go and you can just chuck them in a frying pan and cook up your dinner super fast. Obscure little tip, but measure your food because you might actually be having bigger portions than you thought you were. And this can come down to not only helping count your calories and your macros, but also save you some money so that you're measuring your portions correctly. Now, on the left, we have 1 cup, and on the right is half a cup. And if you look at those, it's hardly distinguishable to the eye. And so if you are measuring your portions, you'll save yourself money by actually eating the correct portion sizes. Now, I'm sure there are so many more tips. These are just the ones that I tend to stick to and I use quite frequently. So if you have any others that you find extremely useful and you incorporate into your shopping, feel free to leave them in a comment below. But I hope you're all well, and I hope you're able to walk away from this video with at least one new tip, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!